Schindler has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance!
Hello and welcome to a pint-sized preview sponsored by Magic Rock Brewing on Huddersfield Town's opponents this season. And in this episode, we're going to focus on Blackburn Rovers. Before we have our say, we caught up with Rovers Chat to hear from them.
Hello, it's Daniel from Rovers Chat, and I've been asked by the Andy Takes That Chance podcast to just give a bit of a season preview covering our club, the club that we cover all the time, Blackburn Rovers. So in terms of what could go well, I mean, Rovers have a new manager at the helm, so obviously the dream is that the plans come into mind, he gets the players he wants, and we have that new manager bounce that you see at some clubs. Obviously, it could equally go the other way. You know, we've lost a lot of players. Joe Rothwell's gone Bournemouth, Nyambe's gone to Wigan, Lenihan to Middlesbrough. You know, that's three key players. A lot of loans have gone back. So we could easily see Rovers, fall down. We got a young squad. The season could fall apart for us and we could suddenly be stuck, back in a place worse than we was under Mowbray. The right manager, I think it's hard to tell. I think in terms of the way he talks and the way he's a man manager, I think that's a big plus for us. His tactics will talk in time. Pre-season's been good, but obviously pre-season's pre-season. It doesn't matter as much. So you can see the signs coming in, but whether that works on the pitch against championship clubs, we don't know. He's not that experienced, but we've seen how the experienced managers are faring in the championship at the moment. So we'll wait and see. In terms of the right transfer business and how it's going, we've only sent one player at the time of recording, Callum Britton, a right wing back from Barnsley. We're all excited about that. Tyler Morton, a midfielder from Liverpool, set to join on loan. He's not joined yet, but he's expected to. I think he looks a really good centre mid prospect, but how much will the Liverpool loanee affect? We had Harvey Elliott, who did really well the year before, but we had Leighton Clarkson last season who didn't, so it's a balancing act. We need a few more players. We will get the players and we'll probably have them by the start of the season, at least one or two, but we'll wait and see. Key player at the moment is Lewis Travis, tough tackling midfielder, maybe not recognised as much as some other midfielders in the Championship, but a really solid option. I think one player will, really impress. I'm looking forward to the upcoming season. I'm looking forward to the games at the John Smiths and at Ewood. And I just hope that both teams have a good season and we'll see how everything goes. And obviously Jordan Rhodes is the one that we all love over here, so I hope he has a good season as well.
Okay, so thanks to Rovers Chat for getting involved. Dave, Blackburn Rovers have been assigned to you. What have you made of their incomings, outgoings and the new manager?
I think they're a team who've still got work to do. If you look at some of the players who've gone out, Bradley Johnson, Darren Lenihan, Brian Nyambe, Joe Rothwell, they've lost a lot of players who've put in a hell of a lot of minutes for them over the last few seasons. Rothwell in particular, I think, was a brilliant player and will be sorely missed. So I think they've still got work to do in the transfer window because they've only brought in a winger from Preston so far. But if you look at what they got left in their squad, they've still got Ayala in defence, who I think is really good. Harry Pickering, who I really like. A fit Bradley Dack this season makes a massive difference because he's a sensational player on his day. And they've still got that front line as it stands, Gallagher, Dolan and Ben Brereton, Derek Diaz. Now, whether he is still there come the end of the window, I have no idea. Obviously, a lot of their fortunes and what you can predict about realistically revolves around that because it's the difference having a sort of a guaranteed 15 to 20 goals and having to take a punt on someone else. So I suspect with John Dale Thompson coming in as manager, they still have business to do and they still have players they want to bring in. But they need to get a bit of a weave on because the season's, we're recording this sort of a week and a half before the season starts. And they look a bit short to me. I have a feeling that they're probably going to have a bit of a flirt with the playoffs at one point, but likely finish mid-table. But I do think that Bradley Dack has the capacity to potentially have a really good season.
Okay, so we'll have a look at a couple of predictions. I agree with you, Dave. I think losing Lenihan, Nyambe, even the guys that were on loan from your lads, Brighton, Van der Hecker and Kadra, is quite a blow for them, as well as Rothwell. So they have still got a lot of work to do. I quite like John Dahl Thomason as an appointment. I think he did quite well at Malmo by the looks of it. So I think that's a step in the right direction. But I still think they've got a little bit of work to do for mid-table. Tyrese Dolan I quite like. I think he might have a bit of a breakout year this year and maybe step it up a level. But if they lose Ben Brett and Diaz, they've still got Sam Gallagher, haven't they, who can chip in with enough goals to keep them above water. But I think this might be a step back on from where they were maybe Feb last year, where they were looking at the top three, weren't they, at that point? So they've I think they've got a lot of work to do to get back up to those levels, but it's going to be mid-table for me. Anyone else want to jump in? Just keep rolling.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all, for me, it's down to where Diaz is. I've seen a few rumours that maybe David Moyes has had a little think about it potentially. So depends if they can keep hold of him. And you never know, do you? With a new guy, he might galvanise that set of players and take them a bit further than what they needed to last season. So that's the beauty of the Championship, isn't it, Matt? But I think mid-table as well, top half.
Yeah, hard to disagree. All going for mid-table as well. Dave touched on it there. Bradley Dack is a great player, but I just have a concern about his injury record. He's not really had a full season in the last couple of seasons, so that would concern me. And like you say, Brereton Diaz, whether he's going to be there. They're one of them teams that I think they've got a lot of good players, and they could do better. They're always kind of around there, but I think one of those teams where I'm having mid-table, but again, window shuts on the 1st of September, so could change dramatically. But at the time of recording, I can't see anything better than a higher mid-table, like Tom said.
I quite like John Buckley as well, Brady. I think he's a good little player. Plays as sort of an 8 or 10 for them. I think he might have a decent year as well. So got some good young players there. I think that's worth pointing out. They've got a Cat 1 Academy, which produces good players, and they've got players like Pickering, Scott Wharton and Buckley coming through. So I think they've got a good production line there. So I don't think there's going to be any trouble. But, best of luck to Blackburn this year, and thanks to Rovers Chat for getting involved with us. And that's it. So keep an eye out for our prediction game. And that's it for Blackburn Rovers.